Hi friends, Kansi here from atop Serenity Hill. I'm also the host of the membership The Creative Playground. It is a space where I help creatives embrace play, curiosity, and imperfection in their art practices. And that's what we're going to play with today. So this is my glue book, paint chip, tag journal or book. I don't know which one we're calling it anymore. And I'm up to tag 12, I believe, which is this purple one. And I have been working my way through this as a glue book where it's lots of collage and using the color on the front of the paint chip as inspiration. And I have kind of morphed it into still collage, but looking for more or elements that move like this one, or stick off the page. So today I'm going to try, this one even folds out as a little fold out thing. So today I'm going to try something with the theme of Mosaic. This one has an actual dangle off of it, and then this one was paper weaving. I did a Mosaic project recently in my membership, and I had another thought about using modeling paste as part of the Mosaic design, and I didn't use it because it seemed kind of messy. And but I thought I would try it on a smaller scale. That project was way bigger, and I just didn't want to get involved in the way that I thought it through. So I wanted to share that with you today. And so I have my card, and the way that I usually do is I always have a piece of collage from here that pays it forward. This is my pay it forward collage. So I'm going to use the purples, maybe even this little piece, as my pay it forward collage. Let me move this to the side. Well, actually, and then the other thing is I always have some kind of dragonfly on the front, and I have my sheet. That's really my only stipulations. Glue some stuff down to keep it a tag book, add a dragonfly, use the color as inspiration, and pay it forward with a little bit of collage. Just pay the collage forward. So here's my thought. I want to make it look like tile and mosaic, and I'm going to use Dimensional Magic. If you've never used this before from Mod Podge, it almost feels like resin. It looks like resin when you're done with it, and you'll see what I mean when I'm done. I have been told that buying it outside of the US is kind of cost prohibitive if you can't get it locally, but maybe it will just give you some inspiration to try another product in your supplies that might do something similar. Okay, so I have that. I have my light and fluffy modeling paste. Okay, I have my supply of paper, and I didn't intentionally do this, but it actually is going to work out, that most of the paper is cardstock. It's scrapbook cardstock. Okay, so it has a bit of weight to it. This has got a little bit of weight to it, but it is actually from a magazine, so it's not super thin, but it is definitely not cardstock. Okay, and then I have a punch, a butterfly punch, because what I wanted to do was punch out a bunch of butterflies and glue them on here inside the modeling paste. Yes, bear with me. We're going to try this together. Where the modeling paste is my grout, the butterflies are my tile, and then to make it look like tile, glazed tile, that's where this Dimensional Magic will come into play. Okay, so that's my plan, y'all, and let's see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is punch out a bunch of butterflies so I have enough to cover this. Okay. Okay, I think that should be enough. Once I had them out, you could see that this one didn't look purple anymore, like the color I was going for. It looked more blue. So I'm gonna save that, and I can even look and see what's the next one. And actually, this paper is gonna work. Sorry, I'm off camera. This is gonna be my pay forward. Look at that. Not necessarily that. So I'll just save. All right, so I have a bunch of butterflies, and I'm just gonna move them to the side. I also have my art glitter glue available, which I think might work better. Y'all, this is an experiment like you would not believe, but we're gonna try it. Let's just begin, shall we? So the reason I like, by the way, this modeling piece, the light and fluffy, is because it's light and fluffy. It is exactly what it says. It dries quick, and it's semi-transparent, but I just like that it's not heavy, and it dries pretty quick. So here's my thought process. I'm going to put down some modeling paste. I'm going to grab a butterfly. And what I'm hoping is that it stays, the modeling paste holds it in. And if it doesn't, I have an indentation that I can work with to glue it back down if that's what happens. So I'm applying a layer of modeling paste. So I have my grout. Try not to make it be too thick because I don't want it to take forever to dry, although that's one of the things I like about this brand is that you can hit it with a heat gun and it works pretty good. I need a bigger area. And then you can play with tucking them in. To each other. Grab another where you can push the paper down into the modeling paste. Okay. All right, so that is my grand plan, y'all. I'm going to put down the modeling paste and pop all the butterflies in, and then we'll meet back here and see what happened, shall we? All right, so I glued everything, or I have all the modeling paste on, and it is not all the way dry, but that's okay. I'm going to let it dry. The Dimensional Magic that I'm going to show you when I put on takes, according to this, at least 3 hours. I usually leave it even longer. So I'm going to let it continue to dry. I just wanted to give it some, so I could work on it, give it some dry, give it a little bit of heat to let it dry to start work. And then I'm going to put the Dimensional Magic on it, let that dry, and then I will come back and show you what happened. But first we can cut off all the excess butterflies, because there's no point in putting the Dimensional Magic on something that I'll end up cutting off anyway. So chop this off, boop, and boop, boop, oh, that too. Super fun. And then I'm gonna make sure, let me grab my hole punch. Make sure that my hole is back as well. Okay, so the way the Dimensional Magic works is you just put it on where the butterfly paper go. So I'll do 2, and then I'll hold it up to the camera. And when it dries, it's clear and shiny. You can see. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all the butterflies. I'm going to let it dry, and then we will come back and see what else it might need. All right, so it's almost dry. I think that when they say Dimensional Magic takes about 3 hours to dry, I think that is when it's super thick. It is not that thick on my card. Okay, you can see how thick the card is. So everything still needs some dry time, but it is dry enough for me to work with. So the 3 other things, because I'm going to put the dragonfly on it, but you can see how the butterflies are shiny and then the grout is not. One of the things, as much as the white grout is lovely, I feel like it needs to almost be a little bit dirty. So I'm going to go in and just here and there kind of gray up the grout a little bit. And you know, you might be loving the fact that it's white, okay? And I find it kind of ironic that, you know, we are always trying to clean our grout so it's not white. I mean, so it's not gray. But I also feel that it's almost too white, and it doesn't feel like grouty enough, would be a good way of putting it. And this is absolutely a personal choice that I am making, that you do not have to make if you are trying this project. But I just want to grunge my grout. How's that for a saying? I'm grunging my grout, y'all. What made me think about it was the 2 butterflies that are very white. Okay? So I'm just grunging my grout. Just a little bit. Okay? Nothing crazy. Just so when it looks more cementy, grouty, stony, however you want to think about that. Okay? I might even this is a colored pencil in cold gray medium that I am going to use as well. And this is very much an experiment. I mean, this entire project was an experiment and seeing how to be honest, the idea of it was not as messy as I thought it would be as I was going. I don't know that I would have liked it as a bigger project. The one I did for my membership was a lot bigger. I'm not sure I would have loved that. But for something small like this, it was kind of fun to play with the modeling piece. This is fun. All right, the other thing that popped into my head was there's some gold on a couple of these, and I thought, well, what if I just kind of etch the whole thing in gold? Because, you know, who doesn't just love a little bit of sparkle? It also gives it an edge. All right, it gives it a little bit of a finish. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, nothing crazy. And I probably will even do this side. This is my favorite gold paint pen. It is a 18 karat gold Krylon leafing pen, and it has a flat top on it. I end up using it so much like this, where I edge with it, that I end up digging a trench down the center of it. I do not use it like as a calligraphy marker or write with it. I use it to edge. Okay. I'm even wondering if, I'm running some gold over some of the grout because it's got texture on it. I'm not putting a ton, but it expands the sparkle out into the grout a little bit. Just here and there. Doesn't have to be crazy. At some point, I'm going to have to say, stop moving with the gold paint pen. Okay, I think I'll stop. This is super fun. It also makes for like a really interesting weight of the card. All right, so the last thing, or next to last thing, because I'm gonna actually, I think I need to splatter with some gold. I think I'm going to use this one down here. Yeah, that's pretty. All right, and then I'm going to see, I'm going to grab my watercolors. I have metallic watercolor. For some reason, I do not have metallic acrylic paint. I thought I did, but obviously I don't. And I'm going to splatter a little gold on this side. Okay, so I've got gold on this side. Whoops. I've got gold on that side, and I got a little splatter of gold on this side. All right, let me dry this, and then we will attach it to the ring. Okay, so there you have it, my Mosaic collage for my newest paint chip tag, which I love because as you're going through now, this one has so much texture and dimension to it, and it does look like tile. It's super fun. All right, so next card will be this one. I have my collage pay it forward for it, and we'll be ready to go. So let me know below if you are playing along or if you got some inspiration from this to work on your own creative projects. Absolutely, it doesn't have to be on a paint chip or a tag. It can be in an art journal or in whatever, your junk journal, whatever you have going. Let me know if you try this technique. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, shall we? And join us on this adventure. And if you want to go back and see what I've done, if this is the first time you've seen this project, there is a playlist below for you to dive into all the cards below before this. All right. Thanks so much, friends, and we will see you in another video.